Hey, I'm over here. I know you won't be staring much at my ugly mug this video anyway, but today is the day where we look at the Phoenix Force and the Phoenix 5. Today we're going to not only talk a little bit about the story, but we're going to talk about this unbelievable line of custom statues. Hey guys, my name is Mr. X, this is the Extreme Channel. If you're new to this channel is all about high-end collectibles. And in front of me, I have 6 statues. 5 of them are custom, which means they were private unlicensed commissions that aren't available anymore. And 1 is from XM Studios, a licensed company, right in the back. So in the front, we have the 5 members of what we call the Phoenix 5 or the Phoenix Force. And then, of course, we have Dark Phoenix from XM Studios kind of in the middle there. Now, what today's video is going to be about is I've actually looked at all of these statues in deep, in-depth reviews that you can actually check out on the channel. While we are going to talk a decent amount about the statues today, we're also going to touch on the storyline of the Dark Phoenix and Phoenix 5 and Phoenix Saga, which is a huge part of Marvel Comics. Now, I am probably what they say the farthest thing from an expert. So no doubt I'm going to miss some facts or get things that aren't going to be 100% right. And if that really upsets you, my God, you need to get a fucking life. But today, I want to kind of tell you why I went into this line, what this line is about. And so first of all, let's start with this. So this is a Marvel tale. Most people are familiar with the Dark Phoenix saga, whether they're familiar with it from the 90s cartoons, X-Men 3, X United, or the newest X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix. So first of all, Phoenix Force, or the Phoenix itself, is an entity that is more powerful than anything in the Marvel Universe, or arguably anything in the Marvel Universe. And sometimes it embodies or possesses actual people, specifically mutants. And there's a long list of people. The most well-known one, of course, is Jean Grey from the X-Men, which you see in the back. And one thing with the Phoenix Force, when it possesses anyone, there always seems to be somewhat of a conflict of emotions, where that Phoenix Force really likes rage and anger, and whoever is possessed by that essentially ends up going nuts. Now, the tale of the Phoenix 5 is a long sought-out tale, and I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but I can tell you, after the Phoenix Force left Jean Grey, and let's face it, the only reason that Jean Grey became one of the first main characters for the Phoenix Force, even though it possessed a few people before her, is because she was boring as hell. So this made her really cool, and many of you know the different ups and downs that went through that story. Then eventually, the Phoenix Force actually embodied Hope Summers. This is a huge part of the Phoenix 5 story, and the particular custom group that did the 5 Phoenix Force statues up front, they're actually debating doing a Hope Summers, which obviously I will get if they do. And Hope Summers even had a harder time dealing with the Phoenix itself than Jean Grey did. Because as I said, it always ends up being crazy and going nuts. In this particular storyline in the future, there's a ton of different stuff going on where Scarlet Witch is a main character that's stripping mutants of powers, where Professor X was missing for a while, and the Avengers are actually fighting the X-Men. So kind of a fast forward, Iron Man, Tony Stark, actually ended up fighting with the Phoenix Force, and instead of destroying it, it's split into 5 different characters. You have Colossus, you have Magik, who most people don't know who Magik is. That is actually Colossus's little sister. And then you have Cyclops, who is the leader of the Phoenix 5. You have Emma Frost, and you have Namor. See, I said it right. And we're not really sure why the writers chose those 5 people. It's kind of a hodgepodge. But in this particular time, things are kind of nuts. Like, I believe Wolverine was even on the Avengers for a little bit. And once they became imbued with these powers, these Phoenix 5 started doing some really good stuff. They started watching after Hope Summers. They enforced this colony called Utopia, where humans and mutants got along. But as you read more into it, you actually found out that it wasn't a utopia, where Cyclops was kind of a ruler with an iron fist. Because let's face it, these 5 characters had the power of the universe inside of them. And they became very addicted to that power like a drug. And like everybody else, they started turning evil. And Hope Summers plays a huge role in this. Scarlet Witch plays a huge role in this. I don't want to tell too much on this because honestly, I don't know that much. And second, I don't want to give away too many spoilers if you want to get into the storyline. But it is one of the most popular storylines with Marvel out there, specifically the X-Men. So now let's dive into these statues, and these statues are just phenomenal. I love how they look on the table. I probably am going to shoot another video after this with these statues still on the table just because it looks badass. But in case you're completely unfamiliar with these, let's just start right here. You have Namor. Namor is a Marvel mutant. He's kind of the Marvel equivalent of Aquaman. He talks to fish. He's the Prince of the Seas. In front of him, you have Emma Frost. Emma Frost is a psychic like Professor X, and she can also turn her body into diamond or stone. Then you have Cyclops in the front. Most people know who Cyclops is. This version of Cyclops looks completely different than your traditional Cyclops, of course, but he kind of led the Phoenix Five, and he was kind of the ruler of Utopia. Then we talked about, we have Magik in the back, wielding her Final Fantasy sword, and she has horns, which probably difficult for her to get a lot of dates. Then behind her, we have the well-known Colossus from the X-Men. And as I said, I have the Phoenix Force Dark Phoenix of Jean Grey right in the back here. I think they look fantastic like this. While all of them didn't imbue the powers at the same time, I still think this is an awesome setup. So these are all 1/4 scale, meaning it's been shrunk down 4 times than the original life version, Cody. While the 5 are meant to sit together, the 6th one in the back is not. Like I said, I think they look fantastic. This is how my display is going to look. If you're interested to see what that looks like, make sure you follow my Facebook and Instagram. The link is in the description below. So while I'm not an expert on the storyline or the source content for this, if you followed this channel for a while, you know that I buy collectibles that I think look cool. Well, clearly this is something that looks amazing. And one thing I love about collectibles is you see the collectible first, and then that gets you interested in the source material. I've done that time and time again, and I think this is definitely one of those cases. Also, I think one really unique thing, take out the XM Studios Dark Phoenix. To me, this is almost a line you have to complete, which an interesting fact about this is they actually have different ES or edition size, which is how many they made, of each character, which I don't quite understand. But if I'm getting one, I would want them all. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have 1 or 2 and they're in the search for the other 2 or 3. The Colossus actually on the end there hasn't even been released yet. This is actually the prototype. One of the things I actually told you guys I was going to do, I'm actually going to count down which ones are my favorite in this line and kind of talk about each one and why that is. So first of all, not surprisingly, it's due to my lack of attachment to the character. I think in 6th place of these pieces, and I'm including the XM Studios Dark Phoenix, is the Magik piece. While I clearly think she looks badass, her base is very plain. It's the only Magik piece I'm going to ever buy. I was not even really familiar with Magik. I knew who she was, but I was not really familiar with her until I got the statue. So that I would rank as number 6. Number 5 is going to shock the hell out of people. This is sometimes people's favorite in the line. It's actually the Cyclops. I am not a huge fan. Of course, he does have the fire hydrant in the base, which makes any statue amazing. Don't get me wrong, I love every single one of these statues, and I am not going to part with them. But if I had to pick the worst of the best, I would put Cyclops in as number 5. Number 4 is going to Namor. I love what they did with the base on this piece. It has this huge water effect. And I am a big Namor fan. I actually have 2 other custom Namor statues on order, but obviously not part of the Phoenix line. I like how his hand is on fire right here. But he comes in at number 4. Number 3 is actually the XM Studios Dark Phoenix. This is clearly the best Dark Phoenix that's ever been released, I believe. There's some things about it that I didn't like, some of the paint application, if you recall, when I reviewed this a couple years ago. But they just did a phenomenal job. She looks badass, and she pairs well with any X-Men storyline because the Phoenix is involved in so many. Number 2, I'm going to give to Emma Frost. She was my most anticipated one. I just like how badass she looks. She kind of has that runway walk pose. She can kind of show her power without even showing it. But a big, big fan of that piece, and I know it's highly sought after. So for you math majors out there, number 1 is the newest in the last edition. And I really had to rack my brain. Am I saying that because it is the newest and I'm most excited about it? The answer is no. I think this is done phenomenally. The paint job is amazing because this was professionally painted because it's the prototype. I love how they did fire on the base. I love that there's 2 different switch out torsos. If you want to check that out in detail, make sure to check out the review of him. So in order, we have Colossus as number 1, Emma number 2, Dark Phoenix number 3, Namor number 4, Cyclops number 5, and Magik number 6. So today, I want you to throw down in the comments your order of ranking, which ones you like the most. And the reason I asked you to comment is because of this. As a thank you to you guys, we're giving away these 2 exclusive Mortal Kombat statues from Pop Culture Shock Toys. We've already given away this Sub-Zero. It's being shipped to the winner of the 15,000 sub giveaway. Up for grabs at 17,500 subs is this exclusive Scorpion statue. First thing you need to do is make sure you've liked this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you've hit that bell notification. Second thing is we are going to pick random videos. This is one of those random videos, and insert this segment somewhere. You need to make sure you comment on that video. We are going to pick a random comment from one of said videos, and you will be the winner of this Scorpion statue. So thanks for tuning in. It was kind of an untraditional video today, but if you like stuff like this, I drop daily content. Hit that Mr. X logo to subscribe and hit that bell notification. In the meantime, check out some of these other statue countdowns in the playlist. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.